G'day folks, here's my June collection update. G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another collection update. This is the stuff that I received in June. Now before we get into that, I'll just address my previous video, the Funebrarum retrospective. I was mispronouncing their name, and nice chap that he is, Daryl, nicely pointed it out to me. Yeah, it should be pronounced Funebrarum. There's two R's, B-R-A-R-U-M. So yeah, I was just doing Funebrarum, true Aussie lazy style. So yeah, Funebrarum. Sorry, boys. But yeah, I really enjoyed that video, so thanks for watching. Alright, we'll start with one that's, yeah, kind of quite surprised me, I've got to say. This is Thou with Umbilical. This came out on Sacred Bones Records. This is Sludge from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So it does have quite a bit of the southern sort of groove to it, but they've always had a slightly harsher edge. It's got like mostly scream sort of vocals, although he growls on this a bit as well, which I very much appreciate. So yeah, mostly slow, sort of dirgy kind of music, but this one, they've kind of ramped up the speed a bit. It's faster. I mean, we're not talking like blast beat level fast or anything, but it's faster for Thou. I mean, they've been going since like 2005. They've got like 6 albums and like 20 plus friggin' EPs. These boys put content out, that's for sure. But yeah, this just goes straight for the throat. It's like far out. It was really quite a surprise when I first saw it. I was very happy with it. It's, yeah, as I said, a bit faster. It seems to have a bit more bottom end. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've always been heavy as buggery, but the sound on this is superb. I had sort of cranked out some of their older albums, and yeah, they're great albums, but they don't sound quite as good as this one. Interesting cover art. Yeah, it's just intense. The first song starts with him, or ends with him screaming, "It's time to die, so die." Third song, Lonely Vigil, sort of brings back the sludginess of it all, but yeah, overall this is just faster in general. House of Ideas sort of starts kind of quick, but it ends with this kind of cool atmospheric solo over the sludgy sort of end. I Feel Nothing When You Die is, yeah, it's up to ramming speed. It's pretty friggin' intense. And The Promise, I think it's called, it's just like a groovy rock song almost. It's sort of almost grunge, but it's friggin' heavy as hell. It's sludge grunge. But yeah, on this there's just very little breathing room. It's just, yeah, it goes for the throat. I really am looking forward to seeing these guys live. They're touring in a month. Whew. Yeah, there's going to be a very busy week for me. I've got, I think, Hellhammer on a Tuesday or Wednesday or something, then Viscera Infest, and then these guys. It's I'm going to try and do either individual reviews or one big review of all 3 gigs, because I definitely plan on going to all 3 because they're kick-ass bands. And yeah, these guys are probably the one that I'm most keen to see, because it's been a long time. They've never toured Australia. I think they were trying to a year or 2 ago, and it fell through. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, this one comes with your, with your lyrics. I always really love the font that they use. It's a familiar font, and yeah, it comes with some weird reason, like 2 songs on a 7-inch. I guess they didn't really want to bother doing a whole extra 12-inch record, so, and that's the colour of both of them, the gold sort of thing. So yeah, I tell you what, this is in my top 10 or top 20 of the year already. That's a cert, I reckon. It's a definite one there. Highly recommended, this one. Up next is a batch of CDs that I got from Headsplit Records in Portland, Oregon in America. I got 1 individual CD and a 3-pack of Gore, which was just, yeah, 3 gory, core grindy kind of bands. So yeah, right up my alley. So we'll start with Hemorrhoid. This is a band. This is Dylan from Headsplit. This is one of his bands. He's also in like Cemetery Lust and Necro Drunks, along with Seth, the drummer, I think. And musically, when I was typing up the stuff for this, I misspelled Necro Drunks, and Google Docs corrected it to the correct spelling, and it's spelled with like a K and a Z. So good old Google Docs. It knows what's going on. So yeah, Hemorrhoid, pretty newish band. I think they've only got like a demo before this, possibly. death grind sort of stuff. It's not quite full gore grind, but it's got some shifted vocals, but mostly just sort of deep growls, raspy, gory kind of sounding ones, and also some that like weird gurgles that remind me of Melbourne Legends Kootabare. It works very well for these guys. So yeah, plenty of catchy riffs. Songs are like a minute or two long. Some pretty damn tasty blasts. You get like pretty picture of the boys looking tough. Yeah, I could not resist that cover art. It's just bloody awesome. I'll put it up on the big screen so you can enjoy it in all its glory. Of course, as soon as I ordered this, they announced that it was coming out on record. So yeah, I probably will be alright with just this CD, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's also got like a couple of Rick Ross sort of style dive bomb solos. Bloody just great death grind, sort of in the vein of your Impetigo or Hemorrhoid kind of style. And yeah, thankfully, Dylan, nice chap that he is, threw in a nice Hemorrhoid patch. And also the Headsplit Records newsletter, which is number 46, I think. So, you know, interviews with the bands and the like. Nice sort of cut and paste job. Yeah, good stuff. It was a good read, and with a nice flyer on the back of which said, "Jeff, stay sick, stay mental." Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, that's a bloody killer album, this one. Also part of the 3-pack of gore was Posthumous Regurgitation with The Coroner's Guide to Cadaveric Cuisine. This also came out on Headsplit. Yeah, this is Portland gore grind sort of stuff. Kind of sounds like a mix of Regurgitate with kind of some of your Razorback bands and a bit of the old Euro nastiness of Inhume or like Sublime Cadaveric Decomposition. It's not just flat out grind. There's plenty of sort of distinguishable riffs and kind of moshy parts, which is kind of where the Razorback influence sort of feel comes from. Vocals are mostly just deep shifted, but occasionally you'll do some weird sort of slimy sounding bits. It kind of reminds me of Gurge from Lord Gore and a number of other bands. It even ends with a killer cover of General Surgery's Grotesque Laceration of Mortified Flesh. So, yeah. This has been spun a number of times, I gotta say. I mean, it's not super long, but yeah, it's catchy as buggery and just great gore grind. And the third CD in the 3-pack of gore is Gestation with Sentient Tumor. This also came out on Headsplit, obviously. This is a gore grind band from Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, not too bad. I really love that pingy sort of snare they have on this. Vocals could be louder, which is bit of a failing, but it sounds tough as hell when they kind of slow down a bit, like on postnatal abortion. And the chugger sort of breakdowns work really well as it kind of breaks up the speed a bit. It's really not particularly long. It's in and out pretty bloody quick, but I really love the slowdown on Shovel as well. So yeah, one thing I'll point out though, I really don't like their logo. It's just, I don't know, it's got that sort of, I don't know if it's supposed to be graffiti or something, but yeah, they could do better, I reckon. But yeah, killer CD, but yeah, it's my least favourite of the 3-pack of gore. And lastly, from Headsplit is another of their CDs. This is Organ Failure with Neurological Determination of Death. This one I think was probably the winner out of all 4 CDs. I mean, they're all killer, but this one, yeah, really spoke to me. This is Chicago gore grind. Going around the country, which is good. I checked these guys out mostly because of Pierre from Blue Holocaust. He shared a clip of them playing at MDF this year. I think they must have played just prior to Blue Holocaust, and it sounded bloody killer, so I had to grab this. Total gurgle, pitch-shifted vocals. So he does do some sort of throaty screen vocals at times as well, but yeah, it's just super detuned guitars. The bass is just so low, it's sort of like flapping sounding. I love it. The sound kind of reminds me of like Bile, like the Dutch Bile, not the techno Bile. Plus Dead Infection and a bit of the romper prop sort of bounce to it as well. It's a really good production with nicely audible sort of drums, and just a killer bloody groove on, Hyperactive Rejection and Deprived of Vital Contents. They do have a brand new EP or like demo or whatever that Assisted Anatomical Butchery that I'll put a link below to their Bandcamp because it's on there. I'd note that Headsplit just put it out on tape, so kind of would prefer it on CD, but yeah, that will probably be in my next order, I'd hazard a guess, because, yeah. One thing I'll whinge about with the Headsplit is I don't like their bloody website. Just, they put up, like, you know, individual albums and so on, but then they'll put up, like, a distro update with, you know, 10 different random things that are all on a drop-down. You can't just browse through the whole stock, you have to click on each individual. Yeah, anyway. First world problems, but still, I reckon they could have a better website. But yeah, thanks for the bonus patch and zine, Dylan, and keep up the bloody good work. This is really good. Up next are a couple of 7-inches I got from Discogs. It ended up being Benny from Vaginal Carnage and Garbage Guts. Thanks, mate. First up, we have Capitalist Casualties split with Ulcer. This came out on 6 weeks originally. I believe this is a repress version. I don't care either way. Capitalist Casualties, legendary power violence from California. Yeah, they played a lot in those days. This stuff sounds like probably the most intense Capitalist Casualties stuff I've heard. It's bloody insane. I do have, like, what have I got there? Disassembly Line or something or other CD. So I got a bit of their stuff, but yeah, this blew me away. It was bloody great. But the other side, though, the Ulcer stuff is really what I was there for. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. I have, like, their Ulcer like discography that has this on it anyway, which is this one's way more recommended than this, that's for sure. But yeah, they're just the most insanely rabid sort of, I don't know, grind, power violence-y sort of stuff. It's just intense bloody stuff. One of the most unhinged vocalists is just pretty awesome. Mostly short, nasty sort of songs, and I mean, yeah, this does not go for long, believe me. It's to be lucky to be about 4 minutes per side. But yeah, it's definitely worth having. I've got a lot of Ulcer stuff now. I don't know how much more I need for the full collection, which I really don't need because, hey, I got this. Well, let's have a look. I've got the album. I've got this. Actually, maybe I am missing the 7-inch with Failure Face and I might have the self-titled EP. So yeah, getting there. But yeah, Ulcer, just highly recommend. I mean, nothing wrong with Capitalist Casualties, and live they were killer. I remember one MDF they played, it was, yeah, I didn't expect them to be that good, and they were killer. But yeah, Ulcer, lovely stuff. Another one from Benny was this Corrupted split with Enemy Soil. This one, I'd been after for a while. I mean, it's always kind of there on Discogs, but it was usually just a bit too expensive, so this time I thought, yeah, Corrupted stuff always seems to go for a pretty penny, but I'm actually here for the Enemy Soil stuff more, to tell the truth. I mean, I love Corrupted. They're a Japanese sludgy, doomy kind of band. Yeah, most of their albums are like ridiculously long, like, 80-minute sort of albums sort of thing usually, but this one, because it's a 7-inch, they're a little faster than usual, you could say. Not really fast, but shorter. This starts with Heavy, the singer, just growling for a while, but then a slow riff sort of kicks in. Some reason the lyrics are in English, which is weird, because they're like a Japanese band that usually sings exclusively in like Spanish for some reason. There's the back. And yeah, this one, they're in English, so it's quite a short one for Corrupted. Not really one of my favourites, I gotta say. It's still pretty cool, and it fades, and then at the end it sort of kicks back in with him sort of coming back in. It's a bit odd. The Enemy Soil stuff on this is pretty friggin' killer. It's some weird reason, I assume their drummer couldn't make it. They got King Fowley from Deceased drums on this, and only this. I think they were recording at his studio, so maybe he just went, yeah, I'll do it, why not? This is recorded at the Sepultura Sucks studio. I love it. Unfortunately, the vocals were a bit sort of quiet on this, and yeah, it's a bit average for Enemy Soul, to tell the truth. I'm still after their split with Wadge. It's one of the ones that I have to get, a Wadge, whatever. And yeah, but I don't really need it, because again, I have a discography of this band, or most of it, except for the Relapse one that I also own. Yeah, this is highly recommended. This is their Smashes Estate, mostly 100% discography, which does have this on it, and yeah, it's absolutely killer. I love Enemy Soil's just like grind sort of band. They were a drum machine band for a while, but then got a proper drummer and got King Fowley briefly. So yeah, this is not really my favourite release of theirs, but hey, adds to the collection. They're one of the bands that I collect stuff of for some stupid reason, because, I mean, I really like them, but I don't know why I collect stuff of theirs, but nearly there. Just that Wadge one and maybe like a 10-inch, I think, or 12-inch that I've already got on CD, so yeah. You can take collecting a little far, but sometimes, what the hell, it's good fun. This was a good score for me as far as my ridiculous collecting goes, because one of the other Discogs ones I got was the Pantalones Abajo Marinero split with ID. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pantalones there. This is just insane drum machine grindcore, just raspiest sort of kind of vocals, and just, yeah, drum machine set on ridiculous, and yeah. I mean, it's, it has allegedly 3 band members that, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just, it's just Agamotto, I think, from, yeah, many other band, including Bodies Lay Broken. I think it's just him, because it's on his record label as well. So, but anyway, this one actually has song titles for once. Pretty much every other release of theirs just has, track 1, track 2, or just nothing, but this one, I believe, actually has titles. But yeah, it's their side, insane as always, just ridiculous. It's beautiful. ID, I actually didn't know anything about these guys. For some reason I thought they were like a pop punk band. Maybe I'm getting them confused with something else. I don't know why the hell they'd be doing a split with Pantalones if they were, but yeah, it's just intense sounding grind with sort of screened vocals. Very frantic sounding, I love it. Both sides are frantic is an understatement. But yeah, there's like some slower, sludgy moments for these guys as well, and one of their songs is about, well, one of them is Wuhan the Barbarian, which is interesting lyrics, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, glad to have this one in my collection. I think with Pantalones, I've got most of it now. I think I only have a repress of their split with Captain Three Legs, so I think there's like a tape or another 7-inch that I'm missing, so we'll get there one day, but yeah, happy to have this one. And lastly, from Benny and Discogs, I got the Slough split with Gonculator. Yeah, this one was just, oh yeah, what the hell. I'm ordering those other ones, I might as well grab this. I do like Gonculator. Slough, I kind of thought I had more of or anything of, but apparently I don't, except this. They're kind of scuzzy sounding, kind of drum machine, death grindy sort of stuff. I think they have one song called Zombie Cock Squad / Praise His Paraphilias, which is about good old Jeffrey Dahmer. It's got an awesome movie sort of doco sample. I'd say it's a doco, but honestly though, it's kind of shit. But anyway, Gonculator on the other side is, I'm not sure if they're still going on. It certainly was a very weird kind of Black Death grind or something kind of band. I don't really know what the hell they were doing, but enjoy it. The vocalist and drummer Charlie Infection, he runs like Fudgeworthy Records. It's also in Psycho, I believe. So this is just noisy as hell, sludgy craziness. It's beautiful. It actually kind of almost sounds genuinely evil. I love it. It's really good stuff. That bit's kind of amusing. It's got Gonculator's just got, religious kind of picture on it, and the Slough stuff has Slough address withheld for some reason. So yeah, one thing I do love about it though is it came with this Fudgeworthy Records, like a little ad that you used to get with, Air Ones and Bovine and stuff. The stuff they put out, bloody hell. There's a 7-inch with Impiety, like Singapore sort of black metal, Black Death sort of band. The AC Meat Shit 7-inch, Rupture 7-inch, more Gonculator split with Undernism, Jesus Crust, Bulge. Well, that sounds good. Or Regurgitate t-shirt. I wonder if they've still got that. Probably not. I think this is from, like 30 years ago nearly. So, yeah, I love getting these little ad sort of things in them. It's great stuff. So, yeah, good little haul of 7 inches. So, yeah, thanks heaps. Up next are a batch that I got from Sphere of Apparition Records in Queensland. Great bloody label. First up we have Civerous with Maze Envy. This one just came out on 20 bucks bin pretty recently, last couple of months. This is a LA kind of death doom kind of band. It's sort of death doom. It does have that, or their earlier album had a bit of that kind of slightly hardcore beatdown bounce tinge to it. maybe a bit like Cruelty or Terminal Nation, but this album not quite so much. It's a bit more traditional death doomy sort of stuff. It even has slightly black metal feel and what is it, labyrinth charm. But yeah, I think Maze Envy, the song itself is just tough as hell. My favourite song on here, probably, I'd say. Very spiffy cover art as well. Comes on pretty vinyl. Ooh, very nice. And yeah, you get the old lyrics and band standing around looking tough. So yeah, this is pretty friggin' killer, I gotta say. I must admit I probably got suckered by the cover art as well, but yeah, this is I think the last song, Jerry on the Plummet or something or other, actually kind of brings you My Dying Bride sort of style doom with, you know, violins and very slow pace. So yeah, this one, I've got to give it a few more listens, I think. It's pretty bloody good, but not quite like blowing me away, but I'm very much enjoying it though. This is a good one. Also from Sphere of Apparition, and I've been waiting a while for this one. This is Fossilization with their Leprous Daylight album. Friggin' killer album, this one. This one made my top 20 albums of last year, so I encourage you to watch that video to see me ramble about it a bit more. Yeah, this starts with a fury, very much Dead Congregation sort of style. It's these are kind of death doom, although I reckon they're just death with occasional doomy moments. Huge bellowing vocals that just really give this a hell of a lot of power. It's just dark churning death metal. It's beautiful stuff. There's a slight sort of level of dissonance as well that works really well with it. It's interesting sort of stuff. This is just on boring black vinyl, but I think what is it? At the Heart of the Nest is possibly my favourite on this, and the last song, Wrought in the Abyss, it brings the doom, that's for sure. It's a slow, nasty sort of one. So you get boys standing around in the forest looking tough. Nice bit of milk crate action there. Some lyrics. So yeah, this one freaking rules. This one was on my top 20 for a reason. So yeah, I've listened to this a lot. This is a killer bloody album. And also thanks heaps to Jason from Sphere of Apparition, because when I ordered this, he wrote to me and said, why don't you pick something else? Go on. And I was like, okay. So I picked this, which is a Rotten Tomb with their Visions of a Dismal Fate CD. This one came out a couple of years ago on Nuclear Winter, but yeah, I'm stoked that I got this one, because I reckon it's almost better than the other two that I bought intentionally. So yeah, this one is Chilean death metal, friggin' heavy as hell. It's a bit of an incantation feel to it, but also kind of your Crips, like the Finnish band Crips, who I'm a big fan of, and a lot of bands sound pretty similar to them these days, which I'm not complaining about whatsoever. Just heaps of reverb. Yeah, this doesn't sound too dissimilar to the last two bands, to tell the truth, but yeah, it's killer stuff. Really nice, heavy, deep vocals, and I think I hear rototoms, which is one of those ridiculous things from being raised on, you know, bodgy old thrash, like, yeah, Pleasure to Kill and whatnot. I love the sound of a rototom. So, but yeah, there's some really nice sort of lead work on this as well. The slower the better, I think, with theirs. The faster ones aren't quite as good, but the slow ones, yeah, bloody killer. I think it's Forgotten Graveyard, the third song's, that's a corker, one of my favourites, I reckon. They just put out a new album, which I haven't actually tracked down yet, because it's like only 300 released or something ridiculous. I think maybe Nuclear Winter might put this one out again as well, so I don't like the new one, which is good. So, you know, you get your lyrics. I really love the band photos. I don't know how well that'll come out, but old mate, the singer, what's his name? Deathbringer. I love it. It's all dark, but except for his hands looking evil. It's some good handwork, mate. I love it. And I really like the back picture. I would love to have this on record, but again, it's pretty limited. I'm glad I just got this, but yeah, there's some really good stuff coming out of Chile. I really should have been paying more attention to them, I think. There's some killer bands from there. So, but yeah, I'm very much keen to track down the new one of this as Rotten Tomb. Bloody great. Next up are a batch of 7 inches I got from 7 Metal Inches Records. They did they do limited sort of releases. I think I've shown some of their stuff before, that Incubus demo repress and one or two others maybe, but at any rate, I really wanted to get this one. This is Leprophiliac with Mil Gritos Tiene la Noche. Ooh, that wasn't too hard. Yeah, this is a Spanish death metal band. This is like Dopey from Machetezo and Suchi from, I can't remember what bands he was in, but yeah, this is not quite as grindy as Machetezo, but a bit more death metal. I kind of prefer this this drier production to getting in their album that just came out recently. It just sounds a bit better. Still reminds me of Death Leprosy quite a lot, which is, yeah, no problems there. It's got a couple of originals, and the second one, Vortex of Lament, is, I am assuming, about Hellraiser, lyrics about Hellraiser 2. It does have the line, "The Doctor is in," and also talks about pain and pleasure and mattress drenched in blood. So yeah, definitely hellbound. Yeah, this is just, and I mean, how could I resist that cover art? That's beautiful stuff. Although, to tell the truth, like, I think it's Vortex has like this slightly odd but kind of really great, like, Motorhead sounding solo section that just sounds completely out of place, but works kind of well somehow. They also cover Serpent Speech, which is like an old Entomb song off their Hollow Man EP, which coincidentally Armored Angel used to cover for a while as well. So that's a great song. It's just sort of, punky death metal-y sort of song, and yeah, done really well here, but with much deeper vocals. I'll show you the inside. I assume that's from some charming horror movie, no doubt. No, I don't think it's the chick out of Hellraiser. So at any rate, I do quite like this band, but I still kind of wish they were a bit punkier sounding, to tell the truth, which is kind of a weird thing to say about a death metal band, but yeah, still great stuff. So I'm very happy to get this, and the two next ones that I just got because I was doing an order, and 1 7-inch versus 3 7-inches, probably the same postage. But yeah, this one is the one I wanted. So yeah, great stuff. Also from 7 Metal Inches Records was Massacre with their Evil Dead Rise. This is another brand spanker, just came out. Yes, legendary Florida death metal gods. It's really good to see their real early bassist Mike Burder's back in the band for the first song. Yeah, this is a similar lineup to their, I think, Resurgence, one of their albums that I'll probably have to track down at some stage. The first side starts with like kind of, not overly spooky intro track that kind of sounds like Hellraiser incidental music. The main song's pretty killer, even if it reminds me a bit too much of From Beyond, like the first Massacre album. Maybe it's just a verse sort of vocal pattern to it. Sounds pretty similar. It even has a sort of Rick Rossi sounding guitar solo on it, which I'm not complaining about. It does have a nice sort of evil sounding melody in the background that, works very well. But of course, the highlight is Cam Lee's vocals. That guy can roar. Far out. Still one of the best death metal vocalists, I reckon. The second side has Boneyard, like a cover of Impetigo. Probably one of my favourite songs of theirs. I'm happy with that one. Honestly, I don't really add too much to it, to tell the truth, but yeah, it's good to hear Cam singing it at least, and adding a few extra gurgles. Comes on a very colourful record. Bloody hell. So yeah, as I said, I don't own any post sort of Reformation Massacre, which I probably should remedy, I reckon. But yeah, this one, it's good fun, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure those first two ones are sold out, but I think this one's still available. This is the third one I got. This is Tenebro with La Bestia dell'Isola Maledetta. This is an Italian death metal band. Thick as hell sound on this. I do like that. Mostly deep sort of growls, but some screams. The drums, though, they sound really distant, except on the blast beats. I think it's like a drum machine, because there's a couple of drum rolls that sound, weird. So yeah, it really should be loud. I mean, if it's a drum machine, you could turn it up to any level, you'd think. But so yeah, that could be louder, I reckon. Overall, it's sort of mostly just mid-paced, sludgy death metal. I do like their kind of use of samples during the song, not just at the start and end of it. Obviously, they love their horror stuff. I think that's Fulci, maybe. Shit. Anyway, it's now on the floor. What the hell? I'm still tempted to get their first album, because the cover art by Matt Putra is just a sight to behold. But honestly, it's kind of messy sounding and just a bit kind of plain. So yeah, I'm still happy to get it, but yeah, really not one of my favourites out of this lot. Up next are a couple I got from Massacre on Oho. First up, we have Unleashed with Before the Creation of Time. This just came out on Darkness Shall Rise Productions. So this is a compilation of their early stuff, everything before the first full-length album. So this has got the Utter Dark and Revenge demos, and the In the Eyes of Death, and the Laughter Has Died EP sort of on the other side as well. So yeah, the first two demos have Robert Sennenbach from Dismember on vocals, so it sounds a bit different than the usual sort of Unleashed sort of style. Johnny starts singing on the B side basically. Honestly, I was never a giant fan of these guys back in the day. I just Entomb, Dismember, Grave, and others were just better, really. Thankfully, my tastes have improved, and I now appreciate their sort of mid-pace stomp, as opposed to just not quite as intense as some of the other bands. But yeah, I never did have a copy of these demos, so really not that familiar with the stuff, other than the fact that most of the songs were on the first album anyway. So yeah, they sound a bit different on this though. It's kind of nice that they don't have that Sunlight sound, that or that Entombed chainsaw sound. It doesn't quite sound the same, which is kind of nice. The second demo, Revenge, is beginning to sound a bit more like Unleashed, like the Unleashed of the first couple of albums at any rate. I don't like the overly loud sort of bass sound on it, and the solos are a bit average, but the B-side has like stuff they recorded in Germany. I think some was on that compilation, and they sound friggin' killer on this. I seem to recall the Grave songs also recorded in Germany in the same place. But these ones sound friggin' killer. And it's just nice hearing demo versions of songs. I think It's Dead Forever starts a bit sort of slower. This one came on nice white vinyl. And yeah, you get a nice big ass poster, the cover art, which I think is the Laughter Has Died 7-inch cover art. But also importantly, and one thing that sold me, is you get this friggin' nice book, which has got the old classic sort of lyrics and so on, and a little interview with the band. But the always painful bit for me is when they show flyers for old gigs. If I can ever friggin' get to the right page. Yes. Oh, shit. Look at those gigs with Morbid Angel. The Swedish one's the worst. Macrodex, Afflicted Convulsion, Unleashed, and Crematory. So yeah, I just dropped it on the floor. So yeah, you can look at this picture. Very, very good compilation. I'd highly recommend this if you're an Unleashed fan and don't already have those tracks somewhere. It's bloody awesome. Also from Massacre is the new Crypt Sermon album, The Stygian Rose. This one just came out on Dark Descent. Yeah, this is epic doom from Philadelphia. This is even more Solitude Aeternus than usual, which I'm certainly not complaining about. They haven't missed Candlemass either as well, but yeah, they do inject a slightly modern sort of feel to it. It's got a lot more powerful drumming on it. Usually with doom drumming, it can be functional at best, let's put it that way, but this, yeah, it's got some oomph to it. I love it, and I really enjoy they've sort of sped up on a few songs. I think it's Down in the Hollows, like a faster galloping sort of one. It kind of reminds me of early Trouble. It's just, yeah, goes very well. Reminds me of the second half of Heavy Riders from the first album, which is a ripper of a song. I think the Heavy as the Crown of Bone was like a single off this. It's epic, and really nice sort of use of keyboards, but has this weird solo or just odd timing on it. I don't know, it just doesn't really work too well for me. Scrying Orb is like sounds like a hard rock power ballad to me, but with some spooky keys. It's not really one of my favourites, but the rest of it, freaking killer, I gotta say. Heaps of orgasmic sort of solos. It's yeah, they're well done, these guys. They know what they're doing. Looking kind of tough. And yeah, really nice cover art from, I think the singer does a cover art, and you get it in a pretty poster. Yeah. Nice poster. It comes with this little booklet, which is interesting, with cool pictures and lyrics. And yeah, this one's on spiffy ass coloured vinyl, very nice. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, the second album of theirs didn't really grab me as much, actually. This one I think is on par with the first album. It's just, yeah, bloody killer doom. Next up, we've got an order that I got from Impure Sounds, excellent Aussie label. First up, we've got Excoriate with On Pestilent Winds. This came out in like 2009. This is German death metal. This is the only album they released after they'd already split up, so don't know what happened there, but yeah, this is sort of early death metal kind of sound, like Possessed or Incubus or Scream Bloody Gore sort of thing. But tell the truth, the one thing that this really sounds quite a lot like is Consuming Impulse by Pestilence. Yeah, just similar sort of riffing, and the singer sounds like Martin Van Drunen pretty regularly. So yeah, it's pretty just straight ahead death metal, but yeah, that kind of, I wouldn't say a thrashy edge, just not that sort of, it's a late 80s death metal, put it that way. No blasts or fancy tech stuff or anything like that. It really does kind of sound like it could have been released in 1989. Sort of gruff, raspy kind of vocals. It does have the occasional thrash influence. Got those Destruction kind of squiggly bits that I put in there. It's just the style that Destruction always use. This also covers Mayhem by Sepultura, like one of the songs off Morbid Visions, and they do a bloody good job of that. It ends with a nice sort of doomy banger with some tormented vocals, you could say. It's pretty good stuff. I think the guitarist went on to be in Venom, which sounded pretty potential as well. I picked this up partly because I was buying another release from Impure, but also my mate Django was always bloody talking this one up, so I thought, maybe I should actually finally own that one. Why not? It comes with a nice poster of something evil going on, and very thick cardboard. This whole thing is thick as hell cardboard, so the old thrash collage, love it. And the boy's looking tough. So I'm quite happy with this one. I should have bought this bloody years ago. It's been around for a while, so but just good German early sounding death metal. Now, the main reason I did an Impure Sounds order was to get this. This is a reissue of Convulsing's first album, Errata. This is an Aussie sort of dissonant tech death black kind of band. It's their first album, and Brendan, the main guy, or the only guy, played everything on this. He's now in Alters. And so you can get the feeling, seeing he's in Alters, it's kind of what this sounds like a bit. Also a bit of your Alterate sort of feel to it as well. Occasionally it reminds me of Portal in parts, actually. This is the second press that came on. Very spiffy looking vinyl. This looks great in person. I don't know how it'll come out on camera, but it's very nice. It's just excellent booming deep vocals. Just goes from churning slow tempo to fierce speedy death metal to mellow bits. It's quite all over the place, and there's a lot going on here. I don't even pretend that I've listened to this anywhere near enough for it to all really sink in. So I look forward to a number of future listens of this. The highlight for me probably is Dis, I think. It even has like a mellow, it doesn't actually list it on the back, but it's got a very dreamy sort of cover of a Porcupine Tree song, The Sky Moves Sideways, which is very mellow for a while, but then does kick in after a while. So, this is intense, but very technical, and I quite enjoyed reading an interview with him recently, or a part of an interview at any rate. He's a thoughtful chap, that's for sure. He knows what he's doing. So this is a lot deeper than it'll take a while to sink in, let's put it that way. While I'm here, I might as well review their latest album, Perduance, which is only a digital release so far. It's on Bandcamp, so I bought that. I don't usually do digital reviews, but I thought, what the hell, while I'm here. This is his third album. It's still weird, twisting, dissonant death metal. It's listed as Black Death. I still don't really hear that much black in it. Well, not the traditional style. Maybe your Death Spell Omega kind of style, possibly. This isn't usually my style of music that I listen to. It's all over the place. Which I like my crazy stuff, but not usually the dissonant stuff. Of this, I don't know, just something really clicks for me on this one. I think it is the really powerful vocals. They certainly help a lot. He's got a killer bloody growl. Despite all the weird time changes and strange stuff that's going on, it's still metal as hell. I mean, I know he's got a lot of different influences, but yeah, the metal is strong in this one, that's for sure. It does have some pretty mellow songs. I think Oceans is, pretty mellow, but then it does kick in after a while. And then there's like the fourth song is this nice sort of 3-minute quiet sort of bridge between each side. There's even like a slightly odd sort of Catatonia style solo on Gossamer Powell that kind of sounds out of place, but really nice. I like it. Shattered Temples is another good one. It's got like this sort of ascending and descending riffs. No, that's partly the Portal sort of feel to it. It's that weird sort of puts you on edge slightly, which I'm not complaining about whatsoever. I like music that challenges you a bit. And yeah, Endurance is another sort of section of slow, thoughtful, almost kind of sounds like Old Anathema or My Dying Bride sort of stuff. So don't get me wrong, most of it's nasty, weird, crazy, dissonant death metal, but yeah, there's a lot of different influences going to this, and it works pretty well. So I'm hoping this one gets a proper physical release. Haven't seen anything listed yet, but happy to now have most of the Convulsing, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing them. They're playing what is it called? The Essence Festival in Canberra in September. I'll put a flyer up for it because there's some friggin' killer lineups on it. Unfortunately, I have a feeling they're looking for a drummer at the moment, so yeah, I'm hoping they're still going to play, but yeah, there's a lot of good bands on that lineup. I can't bloody wait. It's going to be great fun. Alright, and then last of the music releases, you may have seen my weird metal merch that I own, and you've probably seen the thumbnail of this, but Dissection, the Somber Lane. Got this from Direct Merch from Melbourne, and yes, it is a stupid friggin' pop-up one. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I saw it sitting there. I wanted to get I think that Machetezo hat and some other thing as well. So yeah, I couldn't resist and add to cart. What the hell? I mean, I already friggin' own this on CD. It's a bit stupid, really. Although I noticed that this is a remastered original mix on the CD. I don't know what this one is. Doesn't even mention anything. I mean, sounds freaking killer, don't get me wrong. I'm really not going to need to talk too much about this album's Swedish death metal, sort of blackish death metal. I think there's still death on this one. I fluctuate between this and Storm of the Light's Bane as my favourite Dissection, but generally this one sort of wins it, I think. Just the first two songs, Black Horizons and The Somber Lane, they just destroy all. It's ridiculously good. I'm still amazed that people that are aged like 18 to 20 recorded this. I cannot get over it. It's perfect drum sound on this. And this is produced by Dan Swano, and actually by the band, I think, but recorded at Unisound by him. And yeah, I never like the tinkling sort of keys that he does at the end. It's just too Dan Swano sounding. But yeah, this is, as I said, ridiculous pop-up stupidity. I kind of hope for a bit more, to tell the truth. It's like two discs. All you get is this booklet, which is just lyrics and a ye old picture of a church, and that's it. Nothing. And on the back, the friggin' cross pick is crooked. What are you doing, folks? This came out on Black Lodge pretty recently, I think a couple of years ago. So yeah, happy to have it. Again, stupid that I bought it just mostly for the pop-up, but yeah, it's nice to have it on record as well. I mean, this is a freaking masterpiece, this one. I mean, this is the next album, really. If you haven't heard this, friggin' hear it. It's amazing, amazing stuff. Alright, I don't usually do movie or TV reviews or anything, but I got this in the mail recently, so what the hell? This is The Prisoner, the complete series. This one just came out on Imprint Television, which is, I don't know if it's an Aussie label or not, but yeah, very spiffy. So yeah, this is a nice box set with the old discs. So yeah, The Prisoner is a show about a British spy who he resigns and is kind of then is gassed by the government, I guess, and wakes up in the village, which seems to be like a kind of forced retirement village for global spies who know a bit too much. So if they try and escape, they get captured by a rover, which is this weird white balloon thing that bounces around, looking slightly dodgy. I mean, this is from 1967 and 68. So yeah, our hero sort of battles for his sanity with number 2, who's a guy that sort of runs the place, who's always trying to, mess with him to try and work out why he resigned. So yeah, the star's Patrick McGoohan, the guy on the box. He's pretty legendary stuff. So it's just this great combination of weird 60s sort of sci-fi almost mixed with trippy, surreal filming and just straight sort of spy stuff. It's very, you're never quite sure what's going on. It's pretty legendary for its finale that is, yeah. No one's quite sure what happened in the end of that, which is a beautiful thing, I think. And I mean, it's just, yeah, beautifully shot. It includes this weird, huge spinning thing that I'll try and get a picture of that is, observation booth or something. I mean, terrible for the guys working on it. Not good OH&S. But yeah, very stylish sets. So there was only 17 episodes, a rather weird ending. And yeah, this is partly in this because it's, I mean, one of the reasons why I know a bit about it is it's referred to in 2 Iron Maiden songs. Obviously the song The Prisoner, which is has a sample from it that they had to con Patrick McGoohan into releasing. It's the I'm not a number, I'm a free man, or whatever it is. And it's also Back in the Village, I think, has lyrics about it. So yeah, this is a nice Blu-ray release. It comes with this friggin' hefty bloody booklet full of all sorts of bits and pieces and photos and all sorts of good stuff. And yeah, this is, so you get the whole series on Blu-ray. Very nice. And the quality is just stupendous. I mean, it was shot, I think it had a reasonable budget back in the day, but yeah, compared to the crappy downloads that I mean, I've already watched this like several times in the past, but compared to my average downloads, this, yeah, looks a lot better. It does also come with a couple of episodes from his earlier series, Danger Man, aka like Secret Agent, which is a lot more normal spy shows. This is from like the early 60s. I think you get like 2 episodes from the original version, and then they kind of redid it in 1964 for some reason with more of them. So yeah, it's a lot more normal. It doesn't have weird trippy shit going on. It looks super sharp in black and white on this. Again, I think they filmed it with a reasonable budget. It's possibly you're not quite sure if it's the same character as in The Prisoner. I mean, it's him as a spy and his name's John Drake or something or other. But you're never quite sure if it's the same guy in The Prisoner because he's never actually named or anything. But yeah, it's pretty similar sort of character. Yeah, and yeah, as I said, it looks very sharp in black and white, and it's very James Bondish before the Bond movies actually started. I mean, obviously I'm sure this is quite well familiar with their Ian Fleming novels from before this, but yeah, and I think part of the reason why they bunged it in here was that the first episode, View from the Villa, is actually filmed the same place as the village at, what is it, Port Meron, which is in Wales. So, even though it's supposed to be Italy in the episode here, so yeah, I was partly sold by this. I mean, I just wanted The Prisoner, but I saw this, but yeah, I kind of thought it was like all of Danger Man, but it's like 50 plus episodes, so I'm not surprised they only threw in 5, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, very, very happy with this. And yeah, this booklet, I'm looking forward to diving into this one. It's a thick one, that's for sure. So yeah, I'd highly recommend watching The Prisoner itself. They did a remake a couple of years ago that was a bit average. But anyway, be seeing you. So that was all the fun stuff that arrived in June. Thanks again to Jason from Civerous Apparition for the freebie CD. Love your work. As always, links are below to all the shops that I got these from and the bands themselves. I think a couple of them are just boring YouTube links because I couldn't find them on Bandcamp or anywhere else, but what the hell. I definitely encourage you to check some of them out. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment below if you've like any of these things or of your own fun stuff that's arrived. Not sure what my next video will be. Maybe a record label favourite of mine, so we'll see. But yeah, anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.